This morning, an update on the woman who attacked a city bus driver, what criminal charges she's facing.
Plus, the EU and Canada fight back against Trump tariffs. And what drink maker is increasing production here in Wisconsin in response?
Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to News 3. Now this morning, I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Look at us in our green today.
Yes, and for a good reason. We have the Trinity Irish Dancers in the building this morning, and I'm super excited.
We're always going to them around St. Patrick's Day. Excited to have them in studio with us coming up here, in the next 15 minutes or so.
You might get to see us bust a move or two, so hey, stay tuned because I still got it. I hope you oiled up your legs this morning.
Not a lot makes me nervous on live TV, but dancing like this is making me a little uneasy this morning. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, hey, let's check in with meteorologist Vanna Brito. We got a couple of alert days in the forecast, and she's here to help you get out the door this morning. Hey there.
Yeah, hey guys. It's a cool start compared to what we had yesterday. A few degrees cooler. We're at 28 in Madison. We do have 2 alert days to talk about coming up Friday and Saturday. So enjoy the calmer weather while we still do have it. Some areas a little bit warmer than that, even close to the 40-degree mark just southwest of here in Mineral Point. We are going to see partly sunny skies, mild temperatures, even warmer than yesterday with a high forecast to make it up to 63 tomorrow. And even the 70s tomorrow, we're going to see that. It doesn't happen on average till April. We're still in mid-March right now, and we are tracking eventually a line of severe thunderstorms out in Iowa that's going to race across the entire state and then get into southern Wisconsin. I still think they'll break up a little bit before they get here. If they're able to hold their strength, though, damaging winds are going to be our biggest threat. We'll talk about that peak time frame of severe weather across our area coming up.
All right, Savannah, we'll talk to you then. We have some new images of a house fire in Westfield this morning. This photo was taken just after 3 o'clock this morning. The Marquette County Sheriff's Office confirmed that a house fire was active. Multiple units responded. We're not sure if anyone is injured or if there was anyone inside at the time of the fire. They're still looking into the cause. But this happened just after 3 o'clock near Lawrence Lake up there in Marquette County near Westfield. We'll keep checking in on this and let you know if there's anything to report right here on the air.
And we've also been following breaking news out of Madison this morning. Madison Fire responded to a residential fire on the east side around 4:45 this morning. It happened on Dell Drive, that's off Buckeye Road. Officials say it was contained just before 5 o'clock this morning, but we do know there are no injuries and 1 person is displaced.
New this morning, the woman accused of attacking a Madison Metro bus driver, causing that bus to crash into the Asian House restaurant, appeared in court yesterday.
Raven Johnson faces multiple criminal charges. The charges include attempted battery to a public transit operator and second-degree recklessly endangering safety. There were a total of 54 disturbances on Metro buses involving drivers last year, according to records from Madison Metro. Madison police are often called to respond to those incidents.
Metro has, great drivers who do their best to try to handle things and just keep order on the buses themselves. But occasionally we will get called.
The judge has agreed to reschedule Johnson's preliminary hearing as there was no state defender present. She will reappear in court on March 26th.
Dane County medical examiners have identified the woman who died in a car crash on Madison's southwest side last week. It was 67-year-old Mary Pritchard who died in the crash that happened near South Gammon and Raymond Roads last Thursday. 20-year-old Rayon Bertrand is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle and first-degree reckless homicide, among other charges. He's being held in the Dane County Jail this morning. 2 children were in the car when that crash happened. They were both injured, but should survive.
In national politics this morning, the European Union and Canada are pushing back on the Trump administration's 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports. The EU and Canada have announced retaliatory tariffs on their own. The EU is targeting $28 billion worth of American goods, including beef, bourbon, motorcycles, and jeans. Canada is taxing more than $20 billion worth of products, including steel, computers, and servers, and cast iron goods.
Also, in response to Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs, Japanese beer maker Asahi plans to invest $35 million into their U.S.-based production facilities. This will both begin and boost production at the Wisconsin plant facility they acquired last year. Much of Asahi's U.S. product is currently imported from Italy.
6:06 this morning, we have new reaction to UW-Madison possibly losing millions of dollars in federal funding. The university is one of 60 being investigated by the Department of Education for not protecting Jewish students on campus. Greg Steinberger is the president and CEO of UW-Hillel. While he believes UW is a safe and welcoming place for Jewish students, he says there was anti-Semitism on campus at some point.
Definitely think that there were things that have happened in the campus that were worthy of scrutiny and certainly worthy of the question about time, place, and manner.
The letter from the Department of Education to UW-Madison and other universities warns the institutions potentially do not protect Jewish students under the Title VI. That's a civil rights act that prohibits discrimination. The investigation opened January 29th in 2024, just months before large protests took place on campus in spring.
Current DPI Superintendent Jill Underly commented on potential federal funding cuts and what they would mean for the Department of Public Instruction. It happened at yesterday's student town hall at West High School. She says that the department receives $1 billion in federal funding for K through 12 alone. That's on top of additional funding for higher education research. She claims that without that federal funding, local communities would suffer. We also reached out to Underly's opponent, Brittany Kinzer, to see if she was invited to speak at that town hall.
Her campaign team replied stating, quote, Brittany Kinzer was not invited to this meeting, and the organizers admit that we did not receive it. We hope Jill Underly changes her mind and participates in one of the 3 debates she has declined. Well, the deadline to claim your 2021 tax return is around the corner. The IRS says billions of dollars in refund taxes remain unclaimed. More than 1.1 million taxpayers across the U.S. have unclaimed refunds from 2021. That's according to the IRS website. The deadline to submit tax returns is April 15th. The IRS says the median refund amount is an estimated $781 for 2021.
Well, heads up, if you live in the city of Fitchburg, the city is considering adding a wheel tax. It's going to be on the agenda at an upcoming council meeting. It would add a vehicle registration fee of $40. Other cities have similar fees. The former mayor disagrees, though, with how the city is going about achieving its budget. He feels the potential wheel tax is being proposed because the referendum from the past election failed.
Just around my neighborhood where I live, they can't believe it. They said, what doesn't the city know? We just voted down a referendum. Why are we getting taxed for now our cars that we drive?
Clowder also shares that he does not disagree with the budget amount of nearly $30 million, but says he does disagree with how the money will be spent. The Common Council meeting where this will all be taken up is scheduled for Tuesday, April 8th. Fitchburg residents are invited to share their thoughts at that meeting.
6:09, let's check in with Savannah. What's coming up?
Guys, we're still tracking alert day conditions later in the day Friday. We'll talk about the time frame and also the threat southern Wisconsin could see as we head into Friday night.
Plus, a special performance by the Trinity Irish Dancers. They're live in our studio ahead of their St. Patrick's Day weekend performances in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
In the 608, we're kicking off St. Patrick's Day weekend a little early. The Trinity Irish Dancers joining us in studio today. Welcome.
Thank you for having us,
Oh my
Josh.
gosh, you guys are so excited for such a fun weekend ahead.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we look forward to this every year. They are busy, they are booked, and we're ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with the rest of Madison.
I mean, this is your Super Bowl of the year this weekend.
Yes, this is the big game. This is everything. And these dancers have been prepping since December specifically for this weekend.
Wow, okay, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for folks to be able to go out all across the Madison area.
Yes. We are all over Madison. We are in lots of schools tomorrow, but you can also catch us at different restaurants and bars like the Thirsty Goat, Lake Louie, Patty Mac's. We're also going to be at the starting line of the Shamrock Shuffle.
There we go.
So we'll see you there on Saturday if you're going. And then we're also going to be, of course, in the parade on Sunday.
So much to look forward to. All right, so they're obviously going to get to dancing because that's what they're here for. What are they going to be dancing to here?
This is going to be a reel. So this is a soft shoe dance. They have their gillies on, which are similar to maybe like ballet or jazz shoes.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing a reel, and then in a little bit, you'll see some more dancing.
All right, let's fire up the music. We're going to step off.
Thanks, Edie.
Nice job, nice job. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of work that goes into just that minute 30 performance, right?
Oh yes, yeah. Even though it looks short, this is a sprint. This is like sprinting an 800. It is wild. And maybe you guys will get to see what it takes.
Yes, we are here
dancing.
momentarily coming up about 6:23. You guys are going to be teaching all of us the Irish jig. I know you've had me dance in the last few years. Now we're going to get all of the anchors and Savannah involved as well. So we're going to have some fun.
We're very excited.
And then 6:45, some of the younger folks are going to be out here.
We're going to be doing another dance for you.
All right. Thank you guys. Nice
Thanks,
job.
Josh.
We'll see you here in just a little bit. Savannah, we are going to send it over to you.
Thank you, Josh. Great job. We are forecasting a warm day ahead, not as warm as what we had yesterday, but what we're going to see tomorrow, even warmer temperatures. We're forecasting the 70s, 28 in McFarland, 28 in Madison. We do have a couple of 30s out across southwestern Dane County and southwestern Wisconsin as well. Those areas closer to 40. Mineral Point at 39 this morning, 28 in the Dells. The big story is tomorrow's alert day, though. After we see the mid-60s this afternoon under partly sunny and mild conditions, even warmer tomorrow. With the warm-up, a line of storms is going to develop out across Iowa, race across Iowa, and get into southern Wisconsin. I think the best chance of severe weather where this brown or tan color is Dubuque and southwestward. We're expecting that to break up at least a little bit. I think that could hold for Platteville, Monroe, Janesville, Lone Rock, maybe even into Madison as well. All of this yellow color, including Janesville, Watertown, Madison, the Dells, Viroqua, up to Black River Falls, that's a level 2 out of 5 when you're talking about the chance of severe weather. And then the green color up towards Sheboygan and Manitowoc, that's lower end. Damaging winds is first and foremost going to be the biggest threat that we could see with that line of thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin. A brief spin up also cannot be ruled out, though. It's going to turn very breezy, maybe a few isolated showers overnight into early Friday. The majority of tomorrow looking dry, though. So yes, enjoy the 70s, get out and about earlier, and then we'll see that line. This is about 10 p.m. I think the peak for Madison about 10 p.m. to 1 in the morning, could be a little bit later for portions northeast of Madison, and then basically southwest Platteville. You could see that window open up as early as about 8 p.m. That'll race across, break up. This model is showing that line not really holding its strength for Madison. We lose our peak heating of the day compared to Iowa when those storms are going to develop a lot earlier. It has a more of an unstable atmosphere to enter. This is now 1 in the morning, most of that getting closer to moving out of here. This is a look at what 5 or 6 in the morning on Saturday will look like. That pretty much ending and moving out of here completely. So ultimately for everyone across southern Wisconsin, 8 p.m. to 2 in the morning Saturday. Strong winds, brief spin up can't be ruled out, and those will be moving very, very fast out across northern Wisconsin, then northeastern Wisconsin once we see that line pass across Madison. Our next alert day, Saturday, and that's for really gusty conditions because winds could gust up to about 50 to 55 miles per hour. After that, turns a lot cooler.
All right, Savannah, thank you. What's still ahead for us on a Thursday morning? It's time for the News 3 Now This Morning team to learn the Irish jig. The Trinity Irish Dancers are going to be teaching us next. Coming up in our next half hour, temporary relief for some UW Health patients, the insurance issues causing concerns. We'll be right back. 23 on a Thursday morning. We're having some fun in the 608. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend, of course. And, you know, we saw the Trinity Irish Dancers doing their thing. Now, Jenny, you're going to be teaching us how to dance. You guys have done this a couple of years with me. We've got Kyrie on, we've got Chris, and we've got Savannah. They're kind of like intermixed in here. So this isn't too difficult to learn.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start, and we're going to point to the front, point to your knee, put it behind, and then step 3 times. Step, step, step. And then we're gonna do that same thing 2 more times. So point to the front, point to your knee, put it behind, step, step, step. Now 1 more time, point to the front, point to your knee, put it behind, step, step, step. And then for our special ending, we're gonna point to our knee, put it behind again.
Oh.
Step, step, step. And there you have it. That is the jig. Do you think we can try it?
Let's try it.
We're going to throw some music to it?
Oh, goodness.
What do we do with our arms when we're Irish dancing dancers?
Our arms go down by our sides and they stay there.
I've always wondered this. Why don't you move your arms?
Why?
There's a lot of folklore behind it. Supposedly back in Ireland, when you weren't allowed to be dancing, you would stand behind that half door and your arms would be down and your feet would just be
Okay.
I don't know
so there you go.
real or not, but that's what we've told them.
Okay, arms still.
Arms still.
Yep.
Arms still.
Ready, dancers?
Oh, wait, we're gonna do the music for real? Oh, no. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need a redo.
I feel like we got to get you guys up front and center. Front and center. Savannah, Chris, Kyra, get up here.
Come on up.
You guys are hiding in the back.
How'd you do?
I mean, I think I did okay, but I've been doing this for a few years.
Yeah, this is my
All right,
first
we got,
time.
I think, time for one more. We want to do it. Let's do it. See, it's harder than it looks. It's harder than it looks. So, Jenny, tell me, you're a senior. What has it been like to be able to perform with this group year after year?
It's so fun. It's always my favorite season. I just love getting to perform for people and show and do what I love and see it make them happy.
You know, it's always about making people smile, and you guys do such a good job at that. And like all sorts of age ranges here. So if people are out there watching and they want to be part of it, they should join.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Jenny, girls, thank you so much. We'll have another performance coming up here a little bit later on News 3 Now this morning, so stay tuned. We're back right after this.
Upheaval close to an election is never a good idea, but sometimes it is the right idea.
This morning, changes to the Madison City Clerk's office, how the city is preparing to move forward ahead of the April election.
Plus, temporary relief for some UW Health patients, the insurance issues causing concerns.
Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. I will say I think I just need about two gallons of water right now to recover from our Irish dancing. I tried my best, guys. I tried my best. I think I need a redo.
Sure. Yeah, I have a newfound respect for those Trinity Irish Dancers
They are
after
amazing.
finding out how tough that is firsthand.
Keep your
That
hands
is
by
no
your
joke.
side and dance. And then I think I need some of the special shoes. I was trying to do
it was
I
the
was
shoes.
doing it in heels, so you know that's a little complicated.
It was definitely the shoes.
Yeah, you know, Savannah, I don't know how you kept up out there, but I wasn't looking at you.
Okay. I had my socks on, so like I didn't have heels on like you, so it was a little bit easier for me. But guys, we're waking up to a cooler start than yesterday. We're at 28 right now. Temperatures holding pretty steady there. Mineral Point at 36. They were a little warmer earlier. We'll see the 60s later this afternoon. Everyone for the most part should. Maybe a little bit cooler off towards the lake, but the lower to mid 60s here across southern Wisconsin. Even warmer tomorrow, but with that comes a chance of severe weather. I do think a line is going to move in out across Iowa and then get closer to southern Wisconsin. We're not looking at the majority of the day. It'll be dry, but once we get to the evening hours, that's when we're going to see that line move in. We'll time that out and also talk about the threats we'll see locally coming up.
All right, we'll talk to you then, Savannah. We want to update some breaking news this morning in Westfield. We have been following a house fire on Lawrence Lake. The Marquette County Sheriff's Department confirmed the fire was burning about an hour ago. We're not sure if anyone was injured or displaced. We'll keep calling and checking in and let you know if there are any developments.
And we also have updates to report about a a fire in Madison. No injuries and one person has been displaced. The fire was on the backside of this multi-residential building. Madison Fire responded to this Far East Side complex probably around 4:45 this morning. Officials say it was contained just before 5 o'clock. The fire is no longer a threat. It happened on Dell Drive. That's off Buckeye Road. We know it was a multi-residence building and no further information is available at this time.
Keep up to date with all the breaking news and your top stories and headlines with the free Channel 3000 mobile app. Now to developments in the absentee ballot story in the city of Madison. Clerk Mary Beth Witzelbell is now on administrative leave.
The city is investigating her role in the 193 absentee ballots that were not counted in the November election. City Attorney Michael Haas is taking on the role of clerk for the spring election. Haas has never served as clerk, but has experience as an administrator and legal counsel for the Wisconsin Election Commission. Ann Jacobs, the chair of the WEC, says she is confident he can get the job done.
Upheaval close to an election is never a good idea, but sometimes it is the right idea. I think the city was wise to tap him because of his knowledge of election laws, election rules, and election guidance.
Jacob says that while the ballots weren't enough to change the election, she's glad the city is taking action. WEC recently released a report that shows communication and procedural errors from the city clerk that led to the ballots going missing.
Well, the two candidates running for the open seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court debated for the first and final time last night. Conservative Justice Brad Schimmel and Liberal Justice Susan Crawford debated at at the University of Marquette Law School. One topic they focused on was each other's outside donors and supporters.
Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
You know, I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race.
This is shaping up to be one of the most expensive judicial races, not only in the state, but nationwide.
Happening today, residents of Cottage Grove can learn more about the village's referendum. This is the last informational session before April 1st. It's happening today at 1:30 at the Village Hall. Village leaders are asking if residents support a $1.3 million increase to the property tax levy to build the first public library.
Well, big news for Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield members. UW Health and the insurance company have reached an agreement to extend their current contract. This extension will now run through July 1st. The current agreement was set to expire on April 15th. Left a lot of folks concerned about where they could get care. The extension will allow in-network coverage at UW Health while the two organizations work toward a long-term contract.
Law enforcement across Dane County are urging drivers to reduce running red lights and stop signs. It's part of a coordinated effort by the law enforcement group of the Dane County Traffic Safety Commission. In 2024, a report shows 269 crashes were caused by drivers running a red light or stop sign. It resulted in 5 people killed and 169 people being seriously injured. The report says over the last 5 years, nearly 1,000 people were injured and 17 died.
Well, lawmakers in Washington introducing a bipartisan bill honoring a Wisconsin native killed in a bike crash. It's called the Sarah Debink Langenkamp Active Safety Transportation Act. Sarah was killed while riding her bike in Maryland. Senators Ron Johnson and Tammy Baldwin are working together to introduce the bill. It would expand federal funding opportunities for local governments to improve road safety.
Congress is getting closer to a potential government shutdown tomorrow night. A bill that House Republicans passed needs Democratic support to clear the Senate. Majority Leader John Thune is setting up a vote on the plan. Democrats are holding out for concessions aimed at reining in DOJ's spending cuts. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says his party has enough votes to block the bill, but Democrats don't want a shutdown either. On the flip side, Republicans are refusing to support Democrats' stopgap plan. It would fund the government for about another month. That would allow time for bipartisan negotiations. A government shutdown could be a blow to the U.S. economy.
All eyes will be on Wall Street again this morning. At this hour, Dow futures are down about 1/8%. It comes after U.S. stock indices rose yesterday following an encouraging inflation update. The inflation report showed overall prices rose less for U.S. consumers in February. The consumer price index jumped 2.8% compared to the same time last year. That's less than what economists expected. It's still higher, though, than where the Federal Reserve would like it.
Meanwhile, recession concerns are on the rise. J.P. Morgan Chase officials say there's about a 40% chance the U.S. economy will enter a recession before the end of the year. That's a 10% hike from what economists there had forecast in January. They say the Trump administration's actions are among the factors causing the increase.
Well, the head of the EPA is working to roll back more than 30 key rules and decisions that were aimed at protecting public health and fighting climate change. One of those, a key landmark finding by the agency, that greenhouse gases are a threat to public health.
An office that helps minority veterans has been eliminated by the Department of Veteran Affairs. A VA spokesperson says the Office of Equity Assurance is no longer needed. The office helped minority veterans with disparities in how the government provides benefits. It was created under President Joe Biden as part of the VA's Veterans Benefits Administration.
Well, those two astronauts stranded on the International Space Station will have to wait a little longer. SpaceX postponed a flight less than an hour before it was set to blast off yesterday. The problem, a ground system hydraulics issue. The new crew needs to get to the space station before the stranded astronauts can return home. That's after some 9 months in space. Spirit
Airlines announced it has exited Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company says it has shed a lot of the debt and has received more than $350 million in equity investment. Some of that is aimed at enhancing the guest experience. The budget carrier filed for bankruptcy late last year after a failed attempt to merge with JetBlue. And a reminder, tune into News 3 Now later today for live coverage of the men's basketball Big Ten tournament. Our Andrew Banstra will be live in Indianapolis starting at 4 p.m. Our Tanisha Shaw will also be live at a popular Badger bar with fan reaction.
You know, any married couple will tell you that marriage is hard work, but one Wisconsin couple's found the secret to a long-lasting union. Look at these two. They've been married for 76 years, and that gives them the honor of being the longest married couple in Wisconsin. Rosemary and Ted Prosser went to religious education classes together when they were teenagers. They married shortly after in October of 1948. They built a large family. They have 10 kids, scores of grandkids, great-grandkids, and even a great-granddaughter.
Well, we're both Catholic, so it just happened that we kept getting babies.
It just happened.
Just lots of babies.
Hey, okay, so here's their secret. They say trust and keeping busy are the secrets to a long marriage. Rosemary says they were too busy to even have time to fight.
Oh, what a special thing. I need to figure out what was on their bucket list.
I guess you just need more to do.
Just more to do together. I guess after, in between, I guess they were busy with 10 children.
10 kids.
10 children. I bet that takes up a lot of time. Because 2 even takes up a lot of my time. So I can't imagine 10.
Yeah, I know. The difference that, 70-some years makes, back then, 10 kids, yeah, sure, that was a lot. Now I tell people I got 4 kids, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, I know. Like
4 kids?
That's what I think. Whoa,
I know.
4?
But hey, congratulations to them. 76 years married.
That's the end goal. Yes, congratulations. Savannah, what's coming up?
Guys, we're tracking alert day conditions. We'll have more on that and the very, very warm temperatures we're going to see tomorrow afternoon.
Plus, another performance by the Trinity Irish Dancers in studio ahead of St. Patrick's Day weekend.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
In the 608 this morning, we're kicking off St. Patrick's Day weekend a little early. The Trinity Irish Dancers joining us live in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You came to us this year. We changed it up.
We're so happy to be here, right, dancers?
Taking advantage of our big studio. We moved the news desk on off.
What a treat.
Oh my gosh.
5 years of doing this.
this is a great present. Thank
you.
you.
You guys are so easy to work with. You guys have so much fun. I think that's why it is so easy to do.
Yeah. These dancers, they have fun, they work hard, and they've really built a really great community. Earlier, you saw some of the older dancers. We have some of our younger dancers with us, and it's a really great mentorship program that we have, and a community built around sharing an art form and bringing people some happiness.
I mean, when you talk about when you can start, I mean, we got as young as 6 years old here.
Yes, and if you are interested, you can start as young as 3.5.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
And what a way to build those life skills really young all the way up through school.
Exactly. It teaches them leadership. It teaches them teamwork. It teaches them a strong work ethic. It's a really great way to get engaged and try something new. And we have some preview classes coming up if people are interested to enroll, or they can come visit us at TrinityIrishDance.com and sign up for a free class.
All right, so they're going to do a little dance for us this morning. What are they going to be dancing to?
This is going to be a jig.
All right.
This is a classic Irish jig for you.
Let's cue that music.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Great job,
All right,
dancers.
so folks here in the Madison area can check out the dancers for themselves really over the next 4 days.
Yes, this is huge. So tomorrow they're going to be doing a lot of shows at schools and some VFW halls. And then on Saturday, you can see us at the starting line of the Shamrock Shuffle. We'll also be at different bars and restaurants, including Brick Cider, the Thirsty Goat, Lake Louie, and of course the parade on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, so many things to look forward to. I have all of it up on channel3000.com, so we're making it nice and easy for folks.
Perfect.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Josh.
Great job dancing. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And if you have any ideas that inspire you in the 608, reach out on social media or email for a chance to be featured. Now it's time for the weather.
Well, we are going to see partly sunny and mild conditions this afternoon. Highs expected to reach the lower to even mid-60s. A little warmer temperatures expected out west in comparison Madison. A little cooler east, but enjoy the sunshine and warmer temperatures while we still have them. Today and tomorrow going to be mild, but then after that our temperatures are going to fall. We have alert day conditions starting tomorrow. That peak time frame of chances for severe weather across all of southern Wisconsin. I would say 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., about 10 to 1 a.m. for Madison specifically, though. Janesville, Watertown, Madison, Wisconsin Dells, Monroe, La Crosse, Black River Falls, Prairie du Chien, all of those areas are included in this slight risk. Basically, this yellow color, when you're talking about chances of severe weather, that's a level 2 out of 5. Less of a chance, but still a low-end marginal risk up north and then southwest of Dubuque. That's where ultimately the greatest chance of severe weather is. That's a 3 out of 5 and even a 4 out of 5 for areas down near Peoria, Illinois. That's where the best chance is going to be, but I think these storms are going to weaken some before they make its way up here into southern Wisconsin from out in Iowa. This is 2:30 in the morning. Few very isolated showers basically passing to our northwest cannot be ruled out. Maybe a rumble of thunder, but then we warm up. We're looking at the mid-70s tomorrow. Sunshine. Enjoy that midday, early to midday, and then make sure you're monitoring the forecast once we get to late in the day as these storms do move in. This is 10 p.m. still southwest of Madison. Madison racing across, expecting those to break up at least a little bit once they hit a more stable atmosphere, just because we're forecasting peak heating out in Iowa. Obviously, those storms will be earlier there. That'll help support that. But here we're looking at once the sun does set late into the evening and the early nighttime hours. That's all going to quickly move out of here, though, by the time we're heading into about 4 to 5 in the morning. Winds, damaging winds, that's going to be our biggest threat here locally across southern Wisconsin. Can't rule out a brief spin up though, and then very windy conditions both before the system and then as the system moves out of here. We're looking at gusts upwards of about 30 to 40 miles per hour ahead of the system, and then after it, it's going to stay pretty breezy out there. But make sure you're planning. Now is the time to plan. The day before, which is today, adjust plans. Have several ways to get watches and warnings. Make sure you're reviewing weather safety and secure loose objects outdoors. The day of, which will be tomorrow. Monitor the forecast, seek shelter if those watches and warnings do get issued. Protect your head and do not come out of that safe place until you hear the all clear. The next alert day to follow is Saturday. That'll be because it's going to be very breezy. We have wind advisories and high wind watches in place south of here. Nothing for us yet. We'll likely see the National Weather Service offices here follow suit, and then it'll be cooler after that system moves out of here.
All right.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Just, stay weather aware as always. Coming up in the morning sprint, the city of Fitchburg considers a new tax.
If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. The sprint is next. 6:53, time for the morning sprint.
We are continuing to follow a fire in Westfield. This photo taken just after 3 o'clock this morning. The Marquette County Sheriff's Department confirmed a house fire with multiple units. They cannot confirm if anyone is injured or the cause of the fire. We will continue to follow this story and keep you updated.
Now to updates on a fire in Madison. The fire on Dell Drive near the I-90 interstate just off of Buckeye Road is now out. There are no injuries. One person is displaced. The fire was on the backside of the building. That call came in around 4:45 this morning.
Weeks before the spring election, the city of Madison's clerk, Mary Beth Witzel-Bell, is on administrative leave. The decision comes as the city is investigating how nearly 200 ballots went uncounted in November. For now, City Attorney Michael Haas will take over as city clerk.
Although been accused of attacking a Madison Metro bus driver, is still facing charges. She was in court yesterday. Raven Johnson faces multiple criminal charges. They include attempted battery to a public transit operator and second-degree recklessly endangering safety. The judge has agreed to reschedule Johnson's preliminary hearing because there was no state defender present. She'll be back in court on March 26th.
The city of Fitchburg is considering adding a wheel tax to its agenda in an upcoming council meeting. It would add a vehicle registration fee of $40. Other cities in the state have similar fees. The common council meeting will take place Tuesday, April 8th. Fitchburg residents are invited to share their thoughts at the meeting.
UW Health and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield coming to an agreement to extend their current contract. The extension will run through July 1st. The current agreement was set to expire April 15th. The extension will allow in-network coverage at UW Health while the two organizations work toward a long-term contract.
Congress is getting closer to a potential government shutdown tomorrow night. A bill that House Republicans passed needs Democratic support to clear the Senate. Senate Minority Leader says his party has enough votes to block the bill. Republicans are refusing to support Democrats' stopgap plan. It would fund the government for about another month. That would allow time for bipartisan negotiations.
Well, the head of the EPA is working to roll back more than 30 key rules and decisions that were aimed at protecting public health and fighting climate change. One of those, a key landmark finding by the agency, that greenhouse gases are a threat to public health.
Spirit Airlines announced it has exited Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company says it has shed a lot of the debt and has received more than $350 million in equity investment. Some of that is aimed at enhancing the guest experience. The budget carrier filed for bankruptcy late last year after a failed attempt to merge with JetBlue.
We do have a chance of strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. The best chance is where this tan color is southwest of Dubuque, but most of southern Wisconsin and the Channel 3000 coverage area is included in that level 2 out of 5. That's the yellow color. Make sure that you're monitoring the forecast. Have several ways to get watches and warnings. Most of tomorrow looks okay and dry. We're even going to be in the 70s, but then it's the, once we get to dinner time, you should really start paying more attention to the forecast all day, but specifically once we get to the evening hours.
Okay.
All right. So lots to look out for over the next couple of days.
Yes.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
We're back with the news and weather.